I went to the dinner. I apologize in advance. But if you have any questions about the area where I am, Laura, who is the executive assistant for the district clerk's office, although she should be turning around to see if you guys have questions. And then this is Mark. He is the trainer for all of the family law clerks. I'm sure some of you have spoken to him, or if not, you probably will speak to him after this. So anyway, just legally, these are the duties of all the district clerks in the state of Texas. There are over 254 counties, and there are 254 district clerks in each county. Just for you to know, I am the secretary of the whole Texas Clerks Association. So if you have questions or problems reaching a clerk in another county, reach out to Laura and she'll send me an email, and I can, sometimes I can get through, sometimes I get just as caught in the same, like Harris County. Dallas County, no kidding. And I know I've also tried to call my own office, and I know we can get caught up in a loop in our own office too. So I apologize for that in advance. But anyway, if there's a county that you need to talk to a clerk and you're not able to, reach out to us and I'll do what I can. Okay, so any questions about the actual legal duties of the clerks? Basically, as everybody knows, we are the custodian of all the records for the district courts, juvenile courts, and we do jury and paneling. Now, some counties like Dallas and Tarrant, those are regulated to another office, but in Travis County, we do all of the jury trials. We impanel, we send out the summons. So some of you should have gotten some because we send out 6,000 a week, 6,000 summons a week. Wow. The civil and criminal judges are both, and we'll talk about that in the PowerPoint. They are definitely getting the jury trials back, not to the same level we had before. Right now, they're still trying to adjust to whatever the new normal is. But we are, I think we were doing about 6,000 or 7,000 a week before the pandemic hit. Okay, so, okay, e-file, all things e-file. One thing I had asked my team to do is send me notes that they wanted me to share with you guys so that your e-filing will be accepted faster and without you guys calling us the next day or 2 days later. So part of it was when you are working, well, my biggest one is look at what you're doing very carefully. I know you guys, I was an attorney for 30 years. I know attorneys tend to wait to the last minute. We are deadline driven people, as Laura knows. When did I finish this PowerPoint? 10 o'clock this morning. At 10:30, Laura was looking at it. So if she missed something. But anyway, but if you can, and if you have the time, please review review whatever you're e-filing very carefully. I just got a call last week from somebody that was representing a woman who basically should not have had her address on any of the documents. It got on Research Texas. Because legally it shouldn't have been on there, we were able to strip it out of our system, but who knows for a week who had access to it, especially on Research Texas. So if it does contain confidential and sensitive information, this is just for everybody to know, mark your document in that way. That means generally, oh, you guys go, come on, sit down. That gives me a break from fussing.
Yeah, 2 seats here.
There's one over here.
One over there. Up here. One here.
Nobody wants to, just like church, nobody wants to sit in the front. Okay, and so mark it confidential or sensitive. It does not mean it doesn't go into the public record, but what it means is it doesn't go into Research Texas, which is, we know, a national, statewide, worldwide database where people can get copies of any and all cases and documents that are e-filed into any of the 254 counties. The second thing is, and Mark, I don't know if you sent this, but please look at it. I was told to tell you guys to use all caps when adding parties and event comments. Also, my biggest thing is confirm all the information, especially the names of the parties and the addresses. before, when we had our old system fax, e-file and fax were not integrated. And so our clerks got to retype everything. Now Odyssey, which is a Tyler product, e-file, which is a Tyler product, are integrated. And so all of what you type in, that comes into our system. And then the clerks, if they're able to and can, will clean it up on the back end. And so some of the misinformation or misspellings that we are receiving, that goes into the system. Is that accurate, Mark?
That's correct.
Okay. The next thing is about service. First of all, make a note. It always defaults for us to the constable of precinct 5, and they are amazing. They have a lot of people that can do the service, but if you want somebody else to serve it, like a private process, tell us that and tell us, we will email you back the citation so you can send it to your private process server. Or if you want another constable, we have five precincts. If you want a constable in another precinct, tell us that. Or if you want a constable or a sheriff in another county, tell us that, and then we can work with you on getting your citation to the right people so service can occur in a timely fashion. Before, when we had fax, and I'm gonna surprise Mark and have him talk about this really quickly. If you did family law cases and you filed a divorce, and then you filed a motion to modify, and then you filed a child support, it would all go into the same cause number. It would all, I mean, it would be hundreds and hundreds of pages of very different types of cases. Now with Odyssey, they're going to be completely different cause numbers, different files, but for the courts, and also when you get on, because I was on it last night, you get on the attorney arrow and also the case line, it will tell you about cases that are related to that file. So if you have a protective order and then you file a divorce, even though they're two separate cause numbers, as long as the information that we have connects it up, the system will connect it up. But you also can put that in to Odyssey, that
Right.
when they file. Go
They
ahead.
can put a note to us to let us know that this is a companion case. Because what we'll do is we'll go back and we'll pull the person IDs and we'll relate the parties in that case. So both cases will be related. But like Double was saying, if it's a petition for divorce and then 2 weeks later, you're going to file an application for protective order, then that application needs to be filed as a new suit. Just let us know in the comments that, hey, this is a companion case. This is a companion case number. That way we know we can relate the two cases.
So any questions about that? Oh,
So should you not use the old cause number then, if you're filing like a new motion for enforcement?
Well, if it's a motion to enforce, that would go into the previous case. But if this is like a new suit within a new suit, then you would have to file that as a new suit. And then just let us know the filing comments to the clerk that, hey, this is a companion case. That way we can relate two cases when we file it.
okay. And the next one is the same thing, separate filing of cases related, not in the same file. Once again, double check the information. I have a slide that talks about fees. Fees have changed. They were effective January 1st. They're supposed to be way easier for everybody. We'll see. We're still in the midst of having people adjust to it. And then the biggest one, this is not a Travis County. This is not a county issue. This is a Tyler issue. They have now implemented, if you use a credit card, which of course that's the only way you can e-file, you know, it's not like, you know, when you get on a toll road where you can give them cash and have $20 pending on some account that they'll lose. But anyway, you get a minute, they are going to charge every charge $1. So I know that you guys probably need to tell your office needs to be aware that some of the expenses are going to increase because of these service charges that Tyler, who basically owns e-file, is assessing to everybody.
Are you saying that within one envelope, if you have multiple expenses or multiple fees in there, each fee is going to have an additional dollar assessment from Tyler? Or just the envelope?
I don't charge it, so I just found.
Just the envelope. Yeah, if you're filing like no fee documents or something that doesn't cost anything, then there's no fee. But if you're filing a $2 order, it's not a $2.
I have a question. So
Oh, I
know
thought you were going to answer it.
Oh, no, I let Amber do the answering. The question I have is about the sensitive confidential data. So I know that you mentioned if we mark that, it won't go on to Research Texas, but will it go into Odyssey when we can log in and download from like download documents.
Well,
We'll be
you're
able to do
not
that.
supposed to
Well,
have,
when the attorneys log
Yes,
in
thank you.
to
Okay.
Odyssey, excuse me,
and we're gonna get to that, Amber, we're gonna get to that.
when the attorneys log in, if they were to log in, is it
Yeah,
just
they
a show
still-
from
they
Odyssey?
still- they still
Just
be-
not research?
Yeah, if the case is restricted or sealed, it does not go into to the attorney system, but if it's marked confidential, it does.
Okay.
And I'll double check, we'll double check, right, Mark?
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Okay.
That's correct. What you said.
But we'll double check, but mainly it's to prevent it from going into Research Texas and having a more public viewpoint. So, okay. Okay, Travis County fees, this is not Travis County where this is, you're not, this is Texas here. And January 1st of 2022, fees changed. We're not supposed to have a base fee for everything. It doesn't matter whether or not you're filing a fraudulent filing or you're filing an employment case. It's $350, boom, $350 for all types of district court cases. And then for probate is always different. Probate for some reason is $360. I don't know why, that's not my area, so I didn't dig into it. But I just wanted to make sure you knew that probate was $360 for their base fee. Huh? I will not share that with Chris. And then another flat, another base fee is subsequent filing. So if you're adding, if you're doing an intervention, third party, it's $80, flat fee, nothing else, $80. So our office is aware of that. So, but if you have somebody saying it should be a different fee, we have a link where it talks about all of the filing fees on our web, on the district clerk's website. Jury, right now, you do not have to pay a jury fee of $40. You don't have to pay a jury fee at all, because from the Travis County District Clerk's position, the $350 base fee includes a $10 jury fee. So everybody that pays the $350 contributes to the jury trial. So we are not, let me make sure I'm very clear about this. Travis County District Clerk is not charging a separate jury fee. Now, there are 254 counties. There are 254 ways that the clerks are doing that jury fee. So for you, if you're working in other counties, make sure that you contact that clerk's office and say, are you requiring a fee to be paid in addition to the filing fee in order for us to get on the jury docket? Some clerks are charging an additional $5, some are charging an additional $10. The good news is we're going to the legislators in 2023, we're gonna ask for this to be clarified. And so hopefully in 2024, it will be consolidated. Everybody will be doing the same thing, but right now we are not. Yes.
So one of the questions around the office is whether or not we would have to pay a jury fee once we got to trial. We know that you guys have been waiving it for a while and we didn't really know.
No, I'm
why.
gonna keep waiving it.
It's just indefinite
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah, unless the law changes, I'm waiving it. Yes, but that being said, you still have to follow the regulations of filing the jury notice, doing it in whatever the county facet, that is not waived. It's just paying the $40 fee that we used to require.
If we don't request a jury with the petition, as long as we're 30 days before trial, we just send a jury demand and say that the fee's already been paid.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
Or don't say anything about it.
I wouldn't say anything about,
Yeah, we don't have.
but the 30, I don't know what the 30 days is. I don't know what that is.
Well, it's just-
Actually,
yeah.
Can you do that? Hand gesture again?
This is a public, so I'm not gonna do a hand. Some other things that have been approved with the legislators is a statewide venue transfer process. Before, when we would transfer a case, we would do it through e-file, and a clerk in another county is like, oh no, you gotta send it by paper. And so then we would have to print out the paper, put it in snail mail, mail it to them. But now there's a rule that says all transfers between different counties, not within the same county, that's another issue, has to be done through e-file. In addition to that, there's a form now that gets attached to whatever we're sending to them that says it's being transferred. This is our cause number. They will put their cause number on there. And the receiving clerk does not re-file stamp all of the documents that they receive. So we're sending something to Harris County. Let's say a 20-page divorce case. Okay, we know that's not true. So, okay, 100-page divorce case. And we have all of our file stamped until we send it to them. They only file stamp the form on top. They will not file stamp all of the other documents that are behind that comes from our office. And then they will then start, of course, doing their file stamp on all the cases. Once they receive it, once they have their process finished, they then put their file stamp on all subsequent documents. It's supposed to be faster. It's supposed to be so that we can get the documents sooner. We're still having some questions and concerns with some of the counties, but all in all, I think it's a better process for the whole state. So I don't know, and I always get this question from some of the clerks. Fees, and this is for you guys, fees are always taxed to the plaintiff. That's a rule under the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure unless the order says otherwise. So the plaintiff, because they filed it in a county that was determined not to be the proper county, is responsible for the new fees, both when we're sending it with our costs for the copy and the receiving county when they get it. So that's just a little bit of a I don't know how many of you guys actually do criminal bonds or civil bonds, but there was a big statutory change to bonds. And basically there's a lot more requirements about bonds, and these are mainly criminal bonds. When somebody has a bond and the bond says you can no longer get around, person A, the clerk now has to send a letter to person A saying, hey, this is the new bond condition. And also we're supposed to send it, if they say you have to stay away from the school, the clerk now has to send a letter to the school saying, hey, this person can no longer be seen around the school. Now, what the school does with it and how they process it, that's another story. The other issue is now all bond information, when they make changes to bonds, like let's say somebody got assessed a $50,000 bond who was accused of burglary. And then the judge said, well, it really wasn't that bad. I'm going to reduce it to 30. There's a public system now called public safety report system where the magistrate and the judges have to put in all of this information about what did they look at, why did they change it, and what did they change it to. So, okay. Some really quick things on citations. There's some new language to the citations now. It's much longer than it was before. It basically mentions, because I think a lot of self-represented litigants, where's Holly? Self-represented litigants they would get served, they wouldn't answer the disclosure. Now, I don't know, we also know that half of them don't even read the citation, but now in the citation, it mentions to them that the disclosure is inside and that they need to respond to it. And if they have any questions, we get on the Texas Law Help website. And that is required on every citation that is sent now. I can't remember when it was effective. Also, I know a lot of people are looking at having people serve through social media. Make sure whoever you're asking to serve that citation through social media has a social media account. I do not. So you cannot ask the district clerk to post that because I don't have a website. I don't have a Facebook page. Our constables do, especially Constable of Precinct 5. So make sure that before you say this person needs to be the one that puts the citation on social media, that they actually have a social media presence. And then publication, citation by publication, that is now a big deal. That is now done on a statewide website. I don't, right, Amber, this is going out to.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm emailing it to everybody.
Okay, that's the link to it if you just want to look at it. And it's all the, every citation by publication has to be placed on that site. Now in Travis County, because we're a big county, because we still have a paper, you still have to do the other parts of the citation by publication. You cannot just do the publication statewide website unless, because there's always an unless, they have filed, I think, a statement of inability to pay court costs.
Right, or if
Yeah.
we get a court order signed.
Or a court order says that. So you still need to publish it in the Chronicle or publish it in the Statesman or publish it in the village or whatever paper you decide, that still has to be done. But you also need to send it to us so that we can put it, the clerk is the one that puts it in the publication information. Now, it's a wonderful site, but of course it's not perfect. When the return period has expired, the site does not tell you, did anybody file a response? What is the deadline? You still have to call the clerk who issued the citation and find out from them what the status is. So I talked to the judges and I said, I'm meeting with a bunch of amazing people. Oh, and.
I have a question about the website that you posted on.
Uh-huh,
You mentioned that the clerk is the one that puts it on the website.
yes,
Who do we reach out to get it posted onto the website?
well, Mark,
Is there an email address?
please sum up the citation by.
On our own, once the publication comes in, when we issue it, we automatically put it to the website.
It's automatic.
Right,
Once
but
the
what,
citation is
right,
done,
it's posted on there for 20 days and they send us an affidavit saying it's been served after the 20 days, and then we follow it into the court file, and that's when they'll let you know that it's been served. But if you needed to go to the newspaper, like Velva was saying, you would need to know, let us know what newspaper you want to go to.
Yeah, we had an order issue to do both.
Right.
But I don't think that's actually. So we were trying to figure out that process, so.
Right, we automatically put it to the OCA site once we issue it.
But you know what? There's no harm in you guys double checking and make sure we get our job. We're humans, we make human errors. And so if it was supposed to happen and it didn't, reach out and tell us so that we can make sure that we follow our statutory duties also. So, okay, so I talked to the judges and they said, this is what I want to tell them. It's all things submission docket, which we know a lot of documents are going through. Those judges are now seeing over 100 a week of documents that they're reviewing. And we know there are some, and so what they said is first, read the standing order that talks about the submission docket, about who to email, how to do it, what you can and cannot send. They are getting a lot of documents that are not part of the submission docket and they're having to return it. And unfortunately for us, that means they're taking time where they could be signing things faster than returning it to people. Now, what I will say is I don't think it's Travis County. I think it's those out of county people, because those are the people I'm getting the phone calls from and the emails that say, hey, I sent something in March and where's our order? And I'll say, well, you didn't send it to the submission docket, so I'll just send them the link. So, and we have a lot of people, we're a huge county now, we're the 5th biggest county in the state. And we have a lot of people doing a lot of work here that are not located here in Travis County. So that's one reason why things are taking a little longer with the judges. And then second, if you don't want to be one of those people that it takes a little longer, just make sure you follow those rules and make sure you have followed what the standing order says you can and cannot submit. Second, I think we will be happy to see this. No longer do you need to send us a proposed order. Don't send us a proposed order, because all it's going to do is sit there. The judges aren't going to go there. You send the order with the file stamp motion to the submission docket. Because we don't need it. The judges aren't going to look at it. It's a waste of your time to e-file it with us. Plus we charge $1, $2, $3. Oh no, that's a no charge, isn't it? The send order.
Most orders are $2.
For probate.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I know.
But anyway, that's one thing, because then I think what they get is they'll get people that say, hey, here's the motion, my proposed order was filed with the clerk's office. But that doesn't get them the ability to sign it and process it. So no more proposed orders. So what do you do when it's been a month, 2 months? Do not send the document again to the judge. Because one, that causes confusion. What we've had sometimes the same order get signed twice. They'll sign it, 1 week, and then we'll get the same order signed the next week. And then the other is some of the judges are just deleting all of it. So just to say, look, just be patient. We will get to it when we're able to get to it. And if there's a deadline, because I know on submission, there's some things you guys want to get done because of a trial setting, because of a summary judgment, because you want to give somebody like a motion to substitute, you need to get that served so that they can appear at a hearing, put the deadline on the email. The judges and their staff go through that list every day. And they're trying to figure out priorities and prioritizations of which ones get fined and which ones don't. Okay, I didn't put this on the thing, but don't call us. We don't know. We don't know when it was submitted. We don't know when the judges looked at it. What we do know is when the judges signed it and send it back to us, that's when it'll go into our docket. But don't call us and say, when did the judge sign it? Because, well, Mark will do a lot nicer than I just said. I will say, we don't know. We have no idea. That's not our area. And so that's to say you guys wasting time calling us and us talking to you. Okay.
I have a little question.
Okay.
So it seems like some of the judges will email you the sign order, but some of them send it back through the e-file system.
Yes.
Is there gonna be any making that, one way or the other?
No.
No. Just preference. Fine.
Yes. Thank you. That was very nice. Yes. Preference by order. But I will have some, some of their staff likes to do e-filing, which we're fine with. But we have an internal system that we've created, and that will email all of the parties a copy of the signed order.
Okay, so, if they email it just to the attorney, sometimes it doesn't trickle down to me, but e-file it, that's how you get it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're yeah. So I will tell you that e-file is not a process that is liked by a lot of people. It just takes a lot. So, there's not, as many buttons that you have to push to e-file a document, they have to do that to file an order.
Oh.
And so that's why we created this internal system that's gonna make it a lot easier. The only thing I can say is, and where are we picking the email address up from? Is it from Odyssey?
Right.
So the attorneys are gonna get it, right?
Yeah, they should.
Yeah. Yeah, the attorneys are gonna get it. So,
As long as we have one.
Gonna get it like us.
I think everybody that's a party and is on our Odyssey is gonna get it.
Everybody that's already listed as a service contact.
Correct,
Okay.
correct,
So that'd be
yes.
good.
Okay, jury trials. Jury trials are going on right now. The county court at law, Judge Shepherd is having a jury trial right now. You can actually, I need to stop doing this, but you can actually get on YouTube and watch the trials, his trials. We had 4 jury trials set in district court. I think only 2 of them went. Only 2 of them went, but they're going more and more to in-person. We have done in Travis County, which I'm very proud of, over 30 virtual trials, but unfortunately, more and more attorneys and parties are not really inclined to go with virtual jury trials. And we're waiting to see what the Supreme Court does. They may say that virtual jury trials can occur if all the parties agree. But what I will tell you there, though, is jurors love it. They love it. They love being at home. They love being able to, get their coffee. They love being able to go to a break to their own. Now, some of them bring the computer with them. There are stories. There are so many stories of virtual jury trials. But what Travis County has done is they have purchased over 150 iPads. So when the jurors are doing virtual, they all are on the same equipment. And people keep asking whether or not people can, is there an access issue depending on what community you're from? There is not, because they also have a, what is it called? We could just access it through the internet right away on the computer. Hotspot. They all have a hotspot. So we don't have an access issue. And I will say that there is more, this is not a study, an actual study, but it appears that there are more diversity and more diverse jurors through the virtual. But it is hard. I've gotten on and seen 50 people on Zoom. It tires you out. It's exhausting, and it's exhausting for the attorneys, I think. So, but that being said, they're going to continue it, but they're only doing 1. And the district court are setting jury trials at 3-month intervals. Then they're going to look at what who's going to be assigned to it. Then the next 3 months, who else is going to be assigned to it? Whether or not they're going to change it from 4 in person and 1 virtual to 3 in person, but that's done in quarterly increments. Okay, uncontested docket is coming back, but slowly. Right now, starting July 5th, the week of July 5th, I think it's Tuesday and Wednesday, right? Or Wednesday and
Wednesday and Thursday.
Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to do a virtual uncontested docket. So that's something for you guys to know. One day it's gonna be for self-represented litigants. The other day is gonna be only for people who have attorneys. So keep your eye out for that. It's gonna be Judge Maya Get a Gamble, who's gonna work on, we're still in a pilot project. We've done it. This will be the third week that we've done it as a pilot. Yes.
Is this replacing the submission docket? or-
No, no.
Okay, so what about uncontested divorces where are they gonna be on this uncontested?
You
docket?
can do it through the uncontested, yes,
And name changes?
yes. But you just have to get in there and get in line. So. But yeah, but if you submit it through submission, I would say don't do that would just cause. Or if you did it, make sure you tell the judge that it's in their submission docket so that they can pull it. So, it's gonna be on that weekly announcement with the Zoom link. The judge is gonna do it, the dates that are gonna happen. We're gonna try, it's gonna be only happen on non-jury weeks because right now jury weeks are really taxing my office with the way we're doing it. With the COVID situation still. But sooner or later, we're gonna hopefully be able to do uncontested virtual and in person, but that's a process. So right now, for the next couple of months, only virtual uncontested docket. And once again, for everybody to know, copies of the signed documents will be sent to all parties, not just the person who got the divorce and not, who did it, but, we're gonna send it to all the parties. I think before that didn't occur, so. And just some quick information. Hayes and Bell are getting new district courts. I don't know when they're actually gonna be online. Williamson County is getting a new district court. Okay, let's just talk about the new courts, the new judges that are coming in to Travis County. Judge Livingston is retiring, and so Daniela DeSeta Little does not have an opponent, so she will be the new judge for the 261st, starting January 1st, 2023. Judge Cleve Doty or Lori Isola will both be on the November ballot, so we'll know after the election who will be the judge assigned to the 455th. And Judge Mozzie had a contested race and she won, so she will be the judge assigned to the 419th. One new judge for criminal, Judge Brandy Mueller, who was a county court of law judge, on January 1st will be the new district judge. Is Judge Kennedy's court who's retiring, and Judge Chantel Eldridge won her race and she doesn't have a November opponent. We have a lot of new people coming to county court at law. Bianca Garcia, Honorable Dimple Malhotra had an opponent, so she won. Marianne Espiritu and Denise Hernandez. These are all criminal county court of law. Judge Wong and Judge Shepard will continue to serve for the next 4 years. And I'm so excited. I'm sorry. We got a chance to go see the new courthouse yesterday.
It's not a new courthouse.
Oh, that's right. Thank you, Laura. It's It's a court facility. It's called the Civil Family Court Facility, CFCF. Yes. And we're on the 3rd floor. That's all I care about. So let me go on. So, that is the view of our floor from the public viewpoint. Well, we have like these doors now before you get into us. So, I mean, I had to show you. This is our new lobby, our front lobby. So no longer will you line up. I don't think people come to the courthouse like they used to, but we will have like record and then family, and then we're still working on who's going to be sitting there, but we're going to have 4 separate bays. So whoever you talk to should know the area that you want to talk to them about. That is from our viewpoint, looking at the public. And then I love the fact that we have, glass so we can see the building across the street. That's the new courthouse. Every courthouse will look exactly, every courtroom for the district judges will look exactly the same. So whatever you see here, that's going to be whether it's the 419th or the 455th. And also, the more senior paralegals will know, when you come to HMS, like right now, the 250th is on the 2nd floor where probate used to be, and Judge Livingston, who's the 261st, is on the 3rd floor. That will not happen in the new court facility. They will start, the top floor will be the highest numbers and on the way down. So they will always stay in the same place. until, the building disappears. So that is wonderful, because it's really difficult to keep telling people where to go when the courtrooms keep changing. And so this will be one courtroom, and then on the other side will be, I think, the associate judge. And I think they have letters A, B, C, D. So anyway, it's just, and you can see that they have prepared it for big complex cases, because each courtroom has 2 banks with the attorneys. And that's it. That's all the pictures I can show you. So, okay, Odyssey portal. I know we have lots of questions about that. Okay, so we made a change to the Odyssey portal last night, and it caused problems. So I get emails from attorneys all the time. Why is this portal so different than Hayes County? Why is this portal worse than Williamson County? Why does this portal not work? What I will tell you is we had an idea to bring all of the county clerk records, the district clerk records, JPs all together into one portal. So you, like in Hayes, which is wonderful, if you want criminal records, you can touch criminal. But if I'm a criminal lawyer, I kind of like to know if there's any civil stuff going on. That was our thought. Now, of course, unlike Star Trek, when you have an idea, it doesn't work out right away. There's a lot of adjustments, there's a lot of problems that occur that we didn't anticipate. So a couple of things, the public access, because I get also emails from attorneys saying, hey, how come I don't get a copy of the document? And I think that's because they're always on the public access. The public can type in, without registering, a cause number, the name of a party, and they'll get a summary of the documents. They do not get the documents. And I will tell you the reason I decided to do that is a lot of those documents still have not been, they still have a lot of personal information in them. One day, if we can get past this, we will do that. It also has case events, the name of the parties, and it also, which I realized, if you want to track a case and see if if documents have been added, you can add it to the thing called Add to My Cases. Okay, let's talk about the one that only the attorneys are supposed to have access to right now. And Amber, I'm going to answer your question in a minute. Registration is required. In order to get access from the beginning, you have to register, and you have to be a active Texas licensed attorney. Cannot be only licensed in California, cannot be licensed in Kansas. You have to be licensed in Texas so that the rules of disciplinary procedure apply to you. You have to sign in each time to access you have to put in your username and put in your password. I think a lot of attorneys under Arrow were used to having that carry over. That is not what occurs here. Registration is going to be renewed yearly because we just need to know if people are still licensed. And so every year we're going to have everybody renewing. Okay, Amber. I learned that there's a committee now that I have to ask permission to increase the use to other people. And so I am going to ask at a minimum that if you are a certified paralegal, because you are issued a number from the state bar, you are subject to the rules, that you would be able to have your own personal access. Now, don't clap, because that committee has said no to me. Oh yeah. They have said, no, we're not doing that. But I will plead your case just so we won't get more phone calls.
And for members of the state bar paralegal division. What you mean, certified paralegal?
Which ones get the?
State board, there was.
See, I was doing research and I couldn't figure that out.
You get a bar number when you join the paralegal division.
But
It
not
doesn't necessarily mean you're certified, and you could be certified without being a member.
Well, so the ones who have a bar number will be the ones that would get, because it's easier for us to track. All you have to do is put in that bar number. We can call the bar. So let me look at certified. Let me look at that. And then the other thing for the people who are not certified, I am going to request that the legal staff can have access to the attorney, and the attorney is just as responsible as if you guys are looking at their documents. Because I know you're already doing it. So, but I mean, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try to get that done sometime this week. I don't know when the committee meets. Everybody meets virtually, who knows? But as soon as we get an answer or a response that makes everybody happy, I will send it to you, send it on to CAPA.
I had a question.
Okay, I knew that.
So through the attorney portal, I don't know if it's just our office, but sometimes we'll put in our cost numbers for our cases and it won't load. It'll say can't load. We'll hit it like 30 times and it won't load.
Yes.
And 2 hours later, it still won't load.
Yes,
Is that, y'all are aware of that problem?
oh, yes,
Okay.
and we're always working on it.
Okay.
Yes. But that does not mean for you not to tell us,
Okay.
because, I mean, assume if it's 4 PM, we know, because we've had other phone calls, but in the morning, tell us and we can put in a ticket to Tyler and they're looking at it, so. But we know it's been a journey, because we've been there with you, getting the phone calls.
If I don't uncheck all, and I specifically only check probate, then I don't get the result.
Yeah.
But if I uncheck all, and I.
That was supposed to have been fixed, wasn't that supposed to have been fixed, Mark?
So,
That's still an issue.
Okay, well, we'll send in a ticket, see, thank you, that's what I love. But yeah, that was something that we knew when it opened.
Just give us Tyler's.
Oh, I would, oh, I would.
I have a question too.
Okay,
So as far as like getting plastic copies back, I mean, I'm not jumping ahead, but so it seemed like it improved for a while, but it's never gone back to getting them back in 30 to 60 minutes like it was pre-Odyssey sometimes.
sometimes.
Yeah, so what is kind of the long-term goal? for getting back?
Well, the long-term goal is to process our documents within 1 day. That's the long-term goal. But I will tell you honestly, first I'm gonna blame Tyler. No, seriously, e-file, we have problems with e-file when e-file slows down, when e-file goes down, you guys are still e-filing it. We still are not able to process it. So that has put us behind. And honestly, the pandemic, with the number of people that we have out, the number of staff who have decided they want to see more money and better futures in their mind, has put a big stretch on our office. We are doing what we can. We have people working overtime almost every weekend to try to catch up. And I hope that in the next, by the time we get to a year of being in Odyssey, that 90% of our files are now being processed in 1 day. But I know the frustration. I understand. I get emails that say, hey, it was 3 days or 4 days, and I apologize.
Sometimes it's a week.
Well, we do need to know about that.
You're on a list. I mean, you must, yeah. Yeah, I'll let you know next time.
Yeah, but we do have prioritizations. New petitions are prioritized, answers are prioritized because people need to get that in so that they don't get a default rendered against them. Any priorities on family law, protective orders,
Applications,
Yeah.
protective orders for.
protective orders, TROs, permanent injunctions, those are all prioritized. So anything else about the portal that only the attorneys use? Okay. And this is just numbers because I want to show you how much our office is working. From 20 to 21, which I think the pandemic will start feeling like they could, well, they want, man, I've been with this person for a year. I can't stand it anymore. I don't care about the pandemic. I want to file my loss. I want to file my divorce. So you can see that it was not a lot, but we've had significant increase in numbers for both general litigation and family. The biggest one, if you can tell, is on e-filings. There's almost 10,000 additional e-filings in 21, almost 10,000 for family. Criminal is down because there's people are doing more diversion, so they're not being arrested and incarcerated, which is a good thing. And then the number of phone calls has the numbers of record requests has significantly increased. Hopefully, if we can get you guys access to the attorney portal, we will not, and really the record request mainly for you guys would be for certified. And as I told one of the attorneys, we are open from 8 to 5. So if you don't want to wait 2 weeks or 3 weeks for that document, you can come to the courthouse and just wait maybe an hour for us to get it, file it, and get it to you, as long as you have the money to pay.
You mean hand file it?
Well, no, let's assume you want somebody's divorce decree, and if you do a record request, we send it saying, hey, it's gonna take 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you want, you can just come down and get it that day. You just have to sit at the courthouse on our floor on the first floor.
Okay.
So,
Question.
Yes.
Before, during the pandemic, you had to make appointments.
You can make an appointment, but we're okay with, people that just come by. Yeah. And once again, that's all of our clerk information, the online case information with due to the public access, the attorney access to record with the attorneys only should use. And then if you want to ask for records, that's all I know some people always have their secret email addresses or their secret clerks. We don't need to know about that. But if there's just a general question that you have, the district clerk help is we tend to respond to that within a couple of hours when we get the email. And that's it. Any other, wait, I had one more question. Okay, somebody asked about non-disclosures. You don't have to raise your hand. Anyway, he or she basically said that they filed a non-disclosure, which is a civil way to get rid of your criminal record, based on the law, and they did not get a trial date. That shouldn't have happened. We don't know if it did happen, but just for anybody that files expunctions or files non-disclosures, the trial date is on the top of the document on the top page. And if it didn't have it in, just call our office and tell them you want to speak to our non-disclosure staff, and they can tell you what date it is set. And that's it. Well, nope. You guys were much nicer than I thought.
You unplug them.
Should I plug it back?
Thank you, Bella. Part of our, something we started this year is